Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Call of the Herd. I am Curran and I'm joined by
Romario. Oh,
Nice. Is that what we're doing? I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say my name, but sure. No, it's Romario here. Kurt, how have you been? We haven't
uh, I've been pretty good since the last time we chatted. How have you been?
pretty good, pretty good. I know we haven't talked too much, I guess, outside of hanging out to record, but uh, you've been playing more. Have you been playing more limited these days?
I play Cube when it's up on MTGO, and Cube is up on MTGO right now, so that's kind of what I've been doing a lot of lately. I haven't been the most faithful to Constructed, but I did play the Legacy Showcase earlier today, so if that
How did
counts
that
for
go?
anything. I started 5-1 and then ended 5-4, and I registered Mississippi River. So
Wow. Okay. All right. I guess for some of the people that are here just for pre-modern, they're hearing these words and like, what the hell is a Mississippi River? But
I like to call it Noise Combo now that it plays 4 copies of Noise Marine. But
what is
you
a
know,
noise
this
marine?
is this is all legacy
No, no,
deck.
no, no. It's okay. But what is a noise marine? What is
Noise
it?
Marine Noise Marine is a 5 mana creature. It's 4 and a red, it's a 3/2, and it has Cascade. And it
Oh,
also has an enter the battlefield trigger that says when Noise Marine enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of spells you've cast this turn. And with the river, it's a lot. So those Noise
right.
Marines just hit and kill your opponent. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
I think that deck did well at one of the recent challenges, and someone was thinking I was playing like a Yorian list with that deck. Is that what you're playing?
Yeah, somebody was playing Yorian list, and I ended up picking up a 60 card list and making some changes to it that I wanted to make because there were just some things I didn't quite agree with. So
Hmm.
it
Wow.
worked out pretty well. I learned a lot today. I made some mistakes that were pretty egregious. So, oh well.
Yeah. It's definitely a deck. By the way, if I was ever going to play, it would be online only. I
Yes,
would not
don't
like
play it
to
in
keep track
paper.
of that shit on in paper. I'm just saying. No.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. What about you? What kind of Magic you been playing lately?
I've been trying to split my time between pre-modern and legacy. Honestly, I've been playing a little bit more legacy than pre-modern. I have been playing some pre-modern too, but Eternal Weekend is around the corner from us. We're probably gonna get more into that in a little bit, but so today's Sunday. Eternal Weekend will start in 3 days. Is that correct? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? No, I'm sorry, 4 days.
The Thursday.
Yeah, so in 4 days. And so I was trying to get some testing. I will be playing some pre-modern, so I was trying to also test pre-modern. Even though the pre-modern events I'm going to be playing at Eternal Weekend are much lower stakes, just because unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to play the big event on Sunday. I really, really hate that they do the scheduling the way they do. I know it's Eternal Weekend, right? So like Vintage and Legacy are in the forefront of like the TO's mind, I guess. They're not, probably pre-modern, old school. I think those are the only two formats that they're hosting outside of. I mean, there's some modern too. I'm sure that I haven't looked at the calendar really, but for these other formats, but I know old school and pre-modern are kind of like an afterthought. Like, hey, it's Eternal Weekend. There's
Mhm.
a huge overlap between players that play Vintage and Legacy. They also play old school and pre-modern, but I really wish that they moved the pre-modern event to like a more uh, friendly time of the event. But it is what it is. So the big pre-modern event will be on Sunday, and I think it starts at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Unfortunately, yeah, it was the same way they did last year and the year before. Last year, I was pretty close to playing. The person that came with rode with me to Eternal Weekend, they're kind of like willing to like stay with me, like if I played and if I did well, like. But I knew that no, my friend David, he he had to go to work the next day, and
Mm.
it's like a 5 hour drive for us from Pittsburgh, so it's kind of we're trying to leave no Pittsburgh like at a reasonable time, right? Um, Obviously, if one of us made top 8 at the Legacy event, we'll stay there longer, but that's a different story, right? But there's a lot of pre-modern to be played at Eternal Weekend, so I wanted to get some testing, and I'll probably have 2 different decks in my backpack for pre-modern. So So I was testing them to see how if I still know how to play them.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, last year for Eternal Weekend, I did bring pre-modern, but it was like mono green elves, and it was like not at all the like list I played today. It wasn't optimized, and I wasn't sure what I was doing yet.
mhm,
And yeah, I didn't end up registering any events at Eternal Weekend for pre-modern, but I really enjoyed the fact that Card Titan included the format, at all in these like bigger events, the smaller events, recognizing it as an internal format. That's really cool. I mean, like pre-modern, it was like a community effort, and
mhm.
it's been going awesome.
Now I'll tell you what, because I think the first Eternal Weekend after we started reopening from the pandemic, it was in Philadelphia. And I don't think they held any pre-modern events before that event. So like when I saw like, oh, they're gonna have pre-modern, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I remember I made plans to get to Philadelphia before a certain time so I could play some pre-modern. So I brought two different decks with me. There was I don't remember the times, but let's say I remember I tried to get there before 3 o'clock because it was a pre-modern event at 3 o'clock. I played that one. Actually, I think that's when I met Zach from Eternal Turtles.
Okay.
He was at the same event that I played in it. I think the first one had a lot of people. I think like for being a side event at Eternal Weekend. I think we had like no maybe 16 people, and it was really cool. It was like a pre-modern event. It was a side event that was playing for pre-modern, so like everyone was super chill. Like no, and then I signed up for the next one and played that one too. There was actually one of my board states that people, I think it was the judge that took a picture. It was like an infamous situation of opalescence plus humility
Oh,
situation. I was playing Enchantress and my opponent was playing Replenish, but it was like no, like 3 4 years ago. So both of our lists are very different than what we see nowadays, right? And I remember his it was game three, and I remember he said something like, "Oh, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen here, but I'm gonna do it because I had humility in play, and they had opalescence in the graveyard, so they just cast replenish." And then after they cast, it's like, "All right, let me call the judge because I don't know what happens here." So it was, yeah, it was that kind of vibe. It was cool. And yeah, judge comes over, and she had a hard time figure out. Then she called another judge, and then I remember after everything is said and done, she was like, "Can you guys not do this again, please?" And then yeah, and then a few days later, I was on Twitter and I saw that my board state was on Twitter. I was like, oh, somebody took a picture of that. So I'm assuming it was a judge. Yeah,
yeah.
that was the first time I got to play. I think it was the first time I got to play Premodern in paper. Really, was at Eternal Weekend. Those side events.
Yeah.
And then the following year, they had the event on Sunday. Like I said, I couldn't make it, but I did play a bunch of Premodern that weekend, like, playing side events. Uh, and then like I'm sorry, maybe I'm getting the years confused because I did play some more side events last year. I brought Tide with me.
Mhm.
And I can't remember what was the other deck. I brought 2 decks with me, and it was a good time. Yeah, it was a good
Yeah.
time.
I think you borrowed my elves deck at one point to play some hotel games as
Oh,
well.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. At LobbyCon.
At LobbyCon.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna miss it this year. I'm gonna miss it so much. I'm so sad.
But you're making the what's the word I'm looking for? The more mature decision.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, time to be an adult.
Adulthood sucks, dude. I just want to play Magic.
Yeah, it's a trap. Don't grow up. You have to start paying bills and stuff, and things get harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, elves. Like I thought about bringing elves with me, but I don't think I can play elves. I think I still have elves in my backpack. The one with Nantuko, Phantom Nantuko.
Phantom Nintuko. Yeah,
Yeah,
that list looks sick.
yeah.
Um, actually, I know this is kind of jumping the gun, but while we're on the topic of elves,
Hmm.
um, there is the November pre-modern like poll just went out for Portland. So they like go over the event details and they open the vote for the date in November essentially.
Hmm.
Um, and this one is the November elf themed Portland monthly pre-modern paper magic event.
Hmm.
Uh where everyone gets a promo stamped Llanowar elves, and then
Sweet.
the entire top 8 pool is all elves related. Like, first is a foil FNM Llanowar elves, plus an unglued squirrel token, plus deranged hermit, plus a playmat. And then the rest of it is also like elves related as you go down to top 8. But they're also saying the most off meta / brewiest elves deck gets a bonus prize. Robustness of prize will vary with attendance. Anything from a Sky Shroud Poacher to a foil Druid Lyrist to a playset of Ice Age Findhorn Elves to a foil Biorhythm. So it just ranges, basically,
Okay.
depending.
If I had to pick one of those, the playset of Ice Age Findhorn Elves will be my pick. I'm just saying. I don't even care about the monetary.
Biorhythm?
No, not a big fan of foils. Okay, well, since it's pre-modern, I would feel terrible to get a prize just to resell it. But that's what I would do with the Biorhythm. It would not stay with me for very long. Now, the Findhorn Elves, I would keep them because they would have a special meaning. And he kind of started playing Magic around that time. So all the cards from that era of Magic, even though Homelands and Ice Age were like not the best sets to play Magic, really. I would include Alliances there too. Alliance was not good too. You open boosters and it was just like piles of crap, like basically we like draft shafts nowadays. I'll definitely keep those. The Biorhythm, cool card, but not a big fan of foils. So, but it's great that the theme is elves and
yeah, it's all elfy. So I'm very excited for that November event.
Are you gonna try to bring an off? What was the word you
I
said?
might
Off meta?
off meta, like brewy build. I'm trying to figure out what qualifies in that. Is like jamming Phantom Nantuko enough, or do I need to like go
Recycle.
crazy? Yeah, do I need to play recycle? Do I
Uh,
need to adopt the Killer Bee?
Killer Bee. I saw the card being played a few times. Actually, I don't have it play.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a somebody local to here who is always on Killer Bee Elves, and it's so sick. The dedication, I love it, and I wish that I had the stones to register Killer Bee, but I do not.
I don't think Killer Bee is very playable. That's what I'm just saying. I think even if I was playing old school, Killer Bee would still not be very playable. So, it was like a chase rare like when I was a kid, from 4th edition.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it was printed before that, but no, 4th edition was like when I was playing standard. And even back then, I don't think it was very good actually.
yeah, but you can like pump its ability as many times as you want, Romario. That's what makes it so good.
True, and you playing Gaia's Crate on your deck, right?
Yeah, you make a lot of mana, like a lot.
Or you could, I don't know, do anything else. You can play a Verdant Force. I think that's better.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as fun.
No, that's true. That is true. Well, it's kind of interesting, right? Because the Black Shade, the 2/1,
Nantuko Shade?
yeah, that's his play, and it's
Yeah.
good in the deck, right? Killer Bee is sort of the same thing, but it flies. But
Yeah,
we don't
it
see
flies.
but it's
Yeah.
seen it play. Hold on, does Killer Bee get +1/+1 or plus it's just in the power?
I think it is +1/+1.
I think it
Don't quote
might.
me though.
Hold on a second. This is great content for us to like. It gets +1/+1. Okay.
Yeah.
So in theory, it should be playable, right?
Right. Yeah. I feel like that, there's justification to play.
Sure. Also, I just realized there was a card that was drawn by Phil Foglio,
Yeah.
and they're going to be at Eternal Weekend this year.
Oh,
So
heck
I
yeah.
will try my best to find a playset of Killer Bees on
And
site.
get them signed? Yes.
Yes. Also, I'm going to bring them a playset of Swords to Plowshares from Ice Age.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a very like card signed person, but I like their art, so I'll try to find them.
Say I don't recognize you as a Swords to Plowshares gamer. That I thought that's where you were going with that.
No. I mean,
play Swords.
unfortunately, you have to play Swords to Plowshares in various formats because it is the best removal in Magic. So
Whatever you say, Romario.
I'm just saying. But yeah, maybe we should chat up about this after, but before before the event, but after we record, because about a elves list for you to bring it, that maybe
Yeah. We should definitely, we should talk one up for sure. Because
something
I would love
something
to
that's
do that.
functional, but it's different.
Yeah, but it brings difference.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right. You don't have to do the whole anger in the graveyard.
A win the game thing.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, you know.
exactly. Um, but either way. So yeah. Like I said, I've been playing some pre-modern and I've been testing some different versions of Enchantress. That one has been mostly in uh the practice room, Magic Online, because I don't really have any pre-modern going on here in Richmond right now in paper. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep testing that. But to be honest, it's not really anything groundbreaking or anything like that. It's just the usual enchantresses and
Just like
Sterling Groves and Sarah Sanctums and stuff. I knew I was serious about Enchantress in paper when I picked up my fourth Sarah Sanctum and the fourth Mirror's Guile. Uh, so I can, that allowed me to play whatever Enchantress list I really wanted to play. And so I've been trying that. And Enchantress is, to me, is like a known quantity. I know it's a deck that's very good. And if I really want to win a pre-modern event, usually I'll bring something like that. Uh, and then I also play the top 16 playoff thing that they have on the Magic Online Society thing. I don't think they call it Magic Online Society anymore. I think they call it something else. Because now it's CPL, Community
yeah,
Pre-Modern
community
League,
pre-modern series, community pre-modern league.
something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, th-
I always thought it was a little awkward that the badge of the Discord server says CPS on it, which is Community Pre-Modern Series, but just like CPS.
well, when I signed up was the Magic Online Society, so I still have that in my head. Like, no, that's and during the pandemic, they were organizing like all types of webcam events and stuff. That's when I first started playing like uh pre-modern online. But either way, so they have the leagues that runs every 2 weeks. Incidentally, that's kind of like how we record a podcast. Wink, wink. After that, they also have top 16, and then if I'm not mistaken, they also have a monthly top 8. I think they take the best results of the two leagues and the
Oh,
playoff, and then
okay.
if I'm not mistaken, I've
Right, so they can announce a winner like the whole month, basically, right?
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
They do have a website that breaks down all this stuff. Because at one point it was kind of complicated for me to understand all the different events that they
Yeah,
have.
there's like an FAQ website, and then you got to go to a different website,
Hmm.
and then you got to link your Discord,
Then you have to
do
know
all the
someone that knows
crazy stuff.
someone, and secret
Yeah.
handshake and stuff.
It's first rule of CPS is we don't talk about CPS.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so I played the top 16, and one of the rules that they changed, because I think before you could play a different deck, which didn't it was good for content creation, because if there was another deck that I wanted to play, I would just play the next deck that I had in the queue. I mean, the queue was like whatever deck I wanted to play. They changed the rule. Now you have to play the same deck that you qualify, which makes sense. It's a more normal event, right? You play as Swiss, and then after
Right.
the Swiss, you play the same deck. So I had to play the same. Well, not had to. Well, I guess yes. So I played the same deck that I played to qualify, which was the original Tinker Fling that I posted the video. And by the time this is being recorded, I well, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but sort of. I will post the two matches that I played in the top 16. By two, you can tell that I did not win the thing. But usually you can tell by the length of the video, right? Because if it's like an hour long video, it's like, oh, maybe he got there, right? But you see like a 25-minute video, it's like, yeah, that person did not win the whole thing. But yeah, I play the same list that's got the 4 Rushing Rivers in the sideboard and the 4 Tango Wires in the main deck, which I believe it was a combination of some of the results from the events happening in Japan that I mentioned in the last event. I mean, the last episode.
Mhm.
So in round 1, I got paired against Enchantress, and I don't remember exactly what I said in the video. I did make some comments, but I did get to talk to my opponent after the match, because no, it's a Discord server type of deal, like so on. So they messaged me after the match, and they said that apparently they haven't really played against Devour combo before, so they weren't really sure what I was doing and stuff. It was an interesting match, but as someone that has played a ton of Enchantress, I also recognize that Enchantress doesn't really have too many ways to interact with my combo. Uh, in games 2, currently Enchantress has some number of Gaia's Blast in the sideboard, so they can kind of cover the Devour Alter Dementia side of the game. But the Devour plus Fling, I it can be hard for them to get there, but they could have a solitary confinement or worship plus enchantress, or growth in enchantress. But I think overall it's just like no, it's kind of hard for them to interact with the combo, right? Because it's a realistically speaking, it's like a turn two, turn three combo.
Mhm.
So they no, it's kind of hard for them to interact with the deck. I did mention to my opponent after the game that Aura a Silence would have been maybe a good sideboard option because it delays half of the combo. No, we talked a little bit. They said that they watched the channels. So that was round one, and then round two, I got paired against someone that apparently is also going to be attending Eternal Weekend. They were in Dreadnought. I don't remember their name, but they're known from, as far as I remember, they're known from playing combo. So
Mhm.
I was expecting like a Dark Ritual in turn one or something. They went turn one Island and cast Portent. I was like, oh crap. Yeah, it's Dreadnought. Uh, because besides the counter magic, I also have to worry about stifles on my things and dazes and foils. They're all hard cards for me to deal with. So in game one, they just made a turn. They got a turn to Dreadnought down. Think I tried to cast a Tangle Wire to try to slow them down so I could like at least untap and try to get my combo together. They had a daze. They attacked me twice and I died. Game two was pretty cool though because it was a very good way to show how Devour can beat those hands. I mulligan to 5, and it sounds like if someone is listening or watching the video later, it's like, oh, he got lucky or whatever. I don't think so. I think that's an average draw for my deck. It was I had a hand that was at 5 cards, and it was a turn one defense grid with an ancient tomb. And then 2 turns later, I was able to combo. So even in the mulligan to 5, it was no, the deck was able to win. And then game 3, it was kind of like game 1. They had a turn to Devour. I think I had to go for it basically at one point, and they had a foil, so the match was over. But yeah, it was a cool experience. Play the top 8, I mean the top 16 again.
Very nice.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I got a little bit of a experience to play against Dreadnought because it was a deck that I haven't played yet. Playing Devourer. And I think actually you mentioned this like last episode, where it's like, oh, what about Dreadnought? And I said like, well, I have a pile of Pyroblast in my sideboard, and
I don't
in
recall
yeah, you
bringing that
said I
up,
think
but
maybe it was on the podcast. Maybe we just talked about offline, I
maybe,
guess.
maybe,
By
yeah.
offline, I mean like no, not recording. Uh, and I think in game 3, I actually the way I played the game, I cast something off of a I can't remember how I did it, but I had a Shivan Reef open to try to Pyroblast their enabler for Dreadnought. They had a daze.
Jeez.
So that just goes to show, well, I mean, but it is what it is, right? The Dreadnought is kind of like the Delver deck in the format, in my opinion. People compare it to Growatog. I don't think so. I think it's more like Dreadnought because Dreadnought is a deck that plays Dreadnought and then tries to protect the Queen and try to win like that. Uh, but yeah, that was my experience playing the top 16, and like I said, just kind of like repeating myself now. But I haven't got a chance to play against Dreadnought until in this match, so it kind of gave me different insights on how to sideboard and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then yeah, so you'd finish up that top 16 and then you registered the new league with still Devourer Fling Altar, but
Yeah,
with some different sauce this time, I noticed.
right. So
It
this
looks
list,
really good.
yeah, so this list is straight from LobsterCon. There were 2 Tinker Fling decks in the top 8 at LobsterCon last year, and I'm sorry, was this year in Boston. And actually, our friend Piss Duggery did a comment on my original video on YouTube, and it partially is because of his comment, but I also had this deck in mind too because I wanted to test a different version of Devour. So this other list plays it runs Ultra Druids, right? Uh, so I'm not. I guess I'll go over like real quick. But so the mana base is pretty much the same as the other list. Like you got the 7 soul lands, you got the 4 Cedar Brass, and then you have Crystal Vein as the other soul land, and then you got Gemstone Mine and Undiscovered Paradise. That's the one's the difference. Instead of having Shivan Reefs, you have Undiscovered Paradise. And then the artifacts is a little different too. So you had the 4 Lotus Battles, but then 4 Mox Diamonds, which was a little skeptical because the deck's only running 21 lands. But
Yeah, kind of a small land count for
exactly.
pitch.
But after the first match, it kind of made sense to me because with Tinker, you have to have artifacts that stick on the board. Like, so Lotus Battle is cool, but it's very awkward to
But
tinker.
it's just gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, try
exactly.
to
Right.
crack it for blue.
Exactly. So Mox Diamond kind of makes sense. It's either going to be Mox Diamond or Mind Stone or something. But in this deck, Mind Stone is not as good. So I think Mox Diamond might be all right. And then there was 3 copies of Chromatic Sphere. This one makes sense too because the deck actually runs 4 colors. And then there are 2 copies of Enlightening Tutor. And there's the combo, the Alter Dementia, Flink, Devour. All of those are 4 offs, of course. Then 4 copies of Defense Grid. And then there's a little Oath package. It's like, no, 2, the 2 guys blessing, and then the 4 Oath of Druids. And of course, Tinker in there too, because the deck is a Tinker deck, right? And then the sideboard, we got 3 Seal of Cleansing. I'm assuming it plays the same role as the bounce spells in the blue-red versions because there are cards like Curse Totem or Engineer Plague. You have to get rid of those cards. Seal of Cleansing kind of takes care of them. And since you have the 2 copies of Enlightening Tutor, you kind of have 5 virtual copies of the same card, right? And then the 4 Pyroblast, the 2 Carpet of Flowers, Zented Swarms, 4 Zented Swarms, 1 Tormod Script, and there's a copy of your Axiom Processor, and I'll get back to that one in a second. But so clearly the idea here is to have a sideboard that can beat counter magic, right? So you had the 4 Pyroblast, the 2 Carpet of Flowers, and 4 Zented Swarms. And then again, since we have 4 different colors, that's why you have Chromatic Spheres and Mox Diamonds. And then instead of having Shivan Briefs, you have Undiscovered Paradise. So that way you have access to all the colors at all times. And everything only has 1 pip of like a color, right? So like you don't have to have double blue or double green any time. But one thing I found out, because I only played 3 matches with this deck for now. Like I think maybe by the time this thing goes live, I'll have finished the league. But as of recording, I only played 3 matches, and 2 of those matches were against blue decks. And I was like, all right, I got to bring the Pyroblast, Carpet of Flowers, and Zented Swarms, right? But the problem is none of those cards I just mentioned are artifacts, and it's really awkward for you to sideboard with a deck that has Tinkers and take out artifacts to bring enchantments and creatures. But I don't know. I guess in short, what I'm trying to say, I think I prefer the other lists. I think just
Okay.
being blue red, because that way you just like no, you have artifacts and Pyroblast. Like that's all you need. Like no, you try to kill them dead, right? Ultra Druids is one of my favorite cards. Current, you've seen my background on
Yes.
my phone. You see my background on my computer. Ultra Druids, I love the card, but I don't think this is cool. But so far it's still a good experiment. Like no, Premodern is a format that we should try to do different
Yeah,
things, right?
we should be exploring it still. I mean, it's still pretty underexplored, even though that it is frozen in time. So
Mm-hmm. True. And then so for Action Processor, do you know
yes,
what?
I wanted to ask about it. I've just been waiting to ask about the
Okay. So
processor.
I did go into details like when I was recording the video for the league. But for you guys, so for Action Processor, it's a 4 mana artifact that when it comes into play, you pay an amount of life, and then you can pay 4 mana of any color, tap it, and creates a XX black for X and minion creature, which by the way is not an artifact, where X is the life paid for this artifact when you entered. Basically, comes to play, you pay 10 life. Next time you pay 4 mana, tap it, it makes a 10/10. There's a very famous YouTube, you can find a YouTube video of Bob Maher playing against John Finkel in the finals of a Pro Tour, I believe. There was a
Yeah,
Tinker Mirror.
it's on ESPN, right?
It was on
Yeah,
ESPN. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
It was. I think one of the games was decided by a Phyrexian processor.
For like 19, right? Or
Yes,
something
yes.
like that.
hmm
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger and this deck was in standard. I think that kind of became the standard. Every time you cast this card, you would like pay as max amount of life you could pay. So if
Mhm.
you were 16, you would just pay like 14 or, sort of like that. When I first got into Premodern, like, the first deck I built was Mud, and then I built like blue-red Mud and stuff. And I was trying to gem this card in those decks. It was that card and the Phyrexian Colossus was the 2 cards that I remember being very good in Mud back in Standard. I found out real quick that this card is not good. And I think I said more eloquently in the video, but if you look at the mana base of this deck, try to pay 4 mana and tap this thing.
Yeah, so Ancient Tomb deals 2 damage to you, I
Exactly.
noticed.
So let's say you paid a conservatively 8 life, right? Okay, so let's say you took no other damage in this game. You go to 12. How many times are you tapping this thing before you die?
Yeah, not a
In a
lot.
format that people are playing lightning bolts and it's also even more awkward because the token doesn't even have trample. So I was thinking well, maybe it's like a blue-white form matchup, right? You tinker real quick, put this thing in play, pay.
Now you've
I don't
got,
know.
like, a factory or whatever, right?
Well, even worse, they just tap and cycle a Decree of Justice. They have 5 tokens. They time
Yeah.
walk you 5 times.
Yeah.
Also, those decks play some kind of artifact hate, whatever. So, okay, you get to make 1 token. They block it a few times or plow it. I was like, all right, well, okay. Then I was like, all right, Sly. Okay, well, you don't want to pay life against Sly. And you don't want to pay life to tap it to make more tokens. I don't know. I just kind of went through the matchups. So maybe I want to have this card, and I could not think of a matchup that I wanted this card. And I'm pretty sure even Terravor would outclass this card at one point because okay, you pay 14. It usually comes out as like a 7/7, 8/8, but the next time they oath it or do something, it's like a 18/18 at this point, and then like
Yeah. It's
so
not great.
no. But again, this person did top 8 LobsterCon, and I didn't. So maybe there's something here that I don't know. Maybe they bring for certain matchups that I can see.
I feel like it's a very specific card. Yeah, I feel like they're probably addressing a very specific, like, niche problem that they only knew because of how much of this deck that they played, and they were like, "I need an answer to this."
Mhm.
Or they just really like that same Bob Maher match, on ESPN, you know? Maybe they just really like,
Yeah.
the John Finkel Bob Maher match.
I So in the video that when I was recording for the league, I did say, well, maybe this person is like me and really like this card. I was like, man, it's okay. I'm just gonna lose 1 sideboard slot, but I'm gonna have a sweet free action processor in the sideboard. Then maybe it'll come up, maybe I'll tinker for it, and I'll get someone dead with this. But yeah, free action processor. I was thinking what combination of lands I could have in play that I can safely tap. Okay, it has to be Crystal Vein, see the traders. Okay, that would work. Then I can just tap
Yeah.
every turn and then make a token. But other than that, it doesn't work. And Discovery Paradise comes back to your hand. Gemstone Mine dies after a while. Like Mox Diamond, I guess.
City Brass sticks around forever, baby. You just
Yeah,
waste
just
some
ping
life.
yourself and after you paid life to play this card too. So it's not great. But yeah. So that's what I'm playing right now. I'm currently 2-1 in the league. I played against I think it was like some kind of rock deck in round 1. So that went well because again, it's one of those decks that don't have like that many ways to interact with this combo. And actually, also Druids was relevant in that game. And then I played against Blue White something the next 2 rounds, and I won one, lost the other one. But those matches, also Druids came out because they don't play creatures really. So, uh, but yeah. But so far, my experience, I think I prefer the blue red version a little bit better because it's more like a combo. I'm just trying to kill them, I'm not trying to activate oath and all this stuff. So yeah, I'll finish this league, and then by the time sometime this week, the video should be up on the channel. So go check it out. Hopefully, I'll get at least like another 5-1 and maybe qualify
Yeah.
for another top 16, and then there'll be more videos for you guys to watch. So this was it, like not this past week, but it was recent, so it's about 2 weeks ago. So a little bit
The
after we record.
27?
Yeah, 27th. Those are Swedish nationals. 63 players played in Swedish nationals. The deck that ended up winning the whole thing was a Welder Tinker deck.
Wow,
And
that's crazy. Welder Tinker. Wow.
well, there's another one in the top 8 too.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that our friend Max, right?
But yeah, Max picked it up, right?
Yeah.
Our Max is a known painter player in the Legacy community and
Right. Yeah.
has
Uh,
come over to the dark side. I mean the good side,
the good
whatever.
side, yeah. Well, because they all, I think they have a good pre-modern scene in LA, where Max lives.
Yeah, there's definitely a strong pre-modern scene down there for sure.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy that he's playing pre-modern and he picked a deck, and the deck just like took down like a big event. Um, the one thing that caught my attention is that this deck is not playing the Devour combo.
Yeah, no, it isn't. Is not playing the Devourer combo. It's
No, so
just welding.
it's a much more prisony, I guess, type of deck, right? So they had the 4 copies of Welder, of course, Karn, Silver Golem, Triskelion, and 4 Tinkers. And then they just have artifacts that you can welder back or tinker.
I'm noticing that there are a couple of cute one ofs in here. A one of Black Fies, a one of Ensnaring Bridge, a one of Icy Manipulator, a one of Sabos Web.
Mm-hmm.
And then like everything else is in multiples. It's kind of interesting.
It is. One of the things that caught my attention, they're playing only three sphere resistance.
Yeah, three's fair.
I feel like if you're gonna play like a more prison strategy, I think I'd go 4. Because I don't know, maybe it's the type of decks that I've been playing, but like seeing a turn 1 sphere resistant off of Ancient Tomb, it can be kind of back breaking, especially if it's paired up like a Rashad and Port or Tangle Wires and stuff. Just makes it very, very hard for you to cast your things. Um, and they are playing 4 Winter Orbs in the main deck, which is also uh, I'm not really sure if that was stock when I was playing this deck.
Yeah, I don't know. Hmm.
Then in the sideboard, they're playing a Viashino Heretic. I don't know if you've ever seen that card before.
Oh yeah, the one in a red tap destroy target artifact, and the heretic deals to that artifact's controller damage equal to the artifact's CMC.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Uh, that's really cool. They had one Shattering Pulse, which is Shatter, but it's got the upside of having buyback. Yeah, you can just pay 3 more mana and you can actually bring it back. Uh, they also kept the Master Core in the sideboard, which currently, if you're playing elves, you're probably pretty happy to see that.
I'm
Uh,
so happy to see that, Romario. Thanks
you don't
again.
have to deal with like Master Cores in game 1. Uh, and then they have so they have 2 more copies of Black Vice, 3 chills. Yeah, chills. Sly is a deck that's pretty hard for this deck to deal with. So having the 3 chills in the sideboard definitely makes sense. They also have the Crumbling Sanctuary, which, by the way, this card. So Crumbling Sanctuary, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a 5 mana artifact that basically anytime you take damage, instead of taking damage, you remove cards from the top of your deck equal to the damage taken. Right. That is attack for um, versus Sly.
Oh, interesting, because your life total becomes like way
Your
higher.
deck.
Sure.
Oh, I used to have that in my sideboard in my Tinker deck too, and I'll tell you, it almost never worked out the way you think it's going to work out. Sly can do a lot of damage, but it does save you, like, no, if you just need to have another turn or 2. But it's definitely the card that, like, you cast it and you kinda just
You
sit
can't
behind it.
just sit. Yeah, you can't. You
Yeah.
can't sit on your laurels with this card. This
No,
this is simply a band aid.
it's a Band-Aid. Yes, yes, and Sly will rip the Band-Aid if you take too long. Uh, but yeah, otherwise, like, no, the deck looks pretty stock to me. There was a Siphonot deck in the second place that, no, of course, uh
Is it pretty stock? Would you say?
yeah,
Fairly stock stifle novelist here. Yeah,
yeah, it's just like, no, Flash of Insight, Foil, Gush, Impulse, Opt. Yeah, it's just, it's
cool,
Dreadnought,
cool.
right?
Then we
Uh,
got Oath.
Also, there is in the top 4 too. Thermal Cars, okay, Armageddon. So Green White Oath.
Yeah, green
Okay.
white. Yeah, with a little extra sauce in the land destruction department. It looks like with the thermal karsts. I'm kind of interested. Uh, I am I just missing it? No, this doesn't run any cataclysms. Is that is that like a contentious card in this kind of deck, or like
I thought Cataclysms were
pretty standard, right?
yeah. Instead they have 2 Armageddons.
Yeah, the Armageddon and Terror Roar obviously makes sense too, but
Mhm.
yeah, I am kind of curious about the lack of Black with Cataclysm,
Yeah,
because
because
that card's so good in this deck.
it is. Also, against a deck like Enchantress, for instance, Cataclysm is just you win the game.
Yeah, or
Uh,
like against goblins, or like I don't
Elves?
know. Nah.
No, forget. Don't worry about those guys. Okay. Yeah, because like any strategy that goes wide, right? Like you definitely want Cataclysm.
Yeah,
Because
Cataclysm is good. I don't know.
you know what's good now when you have a Terravore is Terravore being the only creature on the board.
Yeah, and then you also have things like Mox Diamond to keep and Oath to keep, and
Yes.
like yeah, you just get to like, or like Sylvan Library, I guess, if you've
Mm-hmm.
already used your Oath. You know that there's just like yeah, you definitely get to maximize like the value on Cataclysm in this deck. So
In the sideboard, they have a copy of Ernan Jin. I really like that. Uh, for the people that have been playing Magic for a long time, Ernan Gaddon was a. I think it's still a deck that people play old school. I'm not sure, but it definitely feels like this person's a Phyrexian processor. They're like, I really want to play this card. I'll just shove it in there. Like,
I'll figure it out. It's
yeah, I'll figure out later. There's a 4/5 here that has almost no synergy
there
with
are
the
a
rest of the deck.
lot of one-ofs in this board, which is always fun. I feel like this is a direction that a lot of like Oath Terravore decks lean. They always have like the tech. Yeah, like one Zurin Orb, one Wrath of
Mm-hmm.
God, one Tormod's Crypt, one Ravenous Belith, one Orm's Chant, one Curse Scroll, one Circle of Protection Red, one Choke. They're all, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we'll find them. So
Well, they have the 3 Sylvan libraries, and
yeah, the Sylvan
and
libraries are extremely helpful.
yeah, I mean they have 4 fetch lands. I don't know how reliably you can find those cards, but I mean some of them are. Do they overlap? I don't know if they overlap. Like the Circle of Protection Red and Baylot, I guess, are kind of like the same for the same. Oh, and Zurin Orb.
Yeah, some of them have overlap, I assume, in like
Mm-hmm.
specific matchups.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a board that's pretty well designed, I imagine, for
Right.
somebody who plays the deck heavily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like there's also split in the Thermal Karst and Winter's Grasp. I wonder if that's just like
Yeah,
card
the
availability. Like last moment is like I need 4 of this effect.
Thermokarst, and they're like, nah, we got you on a winner's grasp, though.
All right, they'll do it. And then the other deck in the top 4 was another Welder Tinker. Okay, so this one's more closer to what I played.
Yeah, it's got the one Devourer this time, so you
Mm-hmm.
actually have that option.
And then the Alter Dementia that we can. Mishra's Helix too is another card that I like too. The other list didn't play.
The giant Rashad port on an artifact, the
Oh
giant
hell's yeah.
stick.
The 4 Thrones Dynamo. I think the other list did not have Throne Dynamo. But when you're going bigger again, I guess like no the Phyrexian Devourer and Triskelion and Masticore, you have to have more artifacts to make mana.
Right.
Um, yeah, but this one is much more like similar to what I'm used to seeing this type of deck. Goblins uh in the top 8 too. Uh I I've been having my butt kicked by goblins like pretty much every time I got paired against goblins lately.
Yeah, Goblins is a fairly popular choice in the Portland area among a few players, and there's definitely like one player that usually does pretty well with it at pretty much every event. I don't know. Maybe not every event, but like I feel like I just see this deck doing well a lot. I am kind of curious about some of the build choices here. I do see that they're playing 2 Hearth Charm. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
that's not stock in my mind, but maybe
If
it's
you're playing
something.
mono red, yes. So this person is not splashing your
Oh
second color.
right, yeah. There's no green. Okay,
Uh,
yeah. I apologize. Yes, mountains and 2 ancient tombs.
did you read the first line of Hearth Charm?
Destroy target artifact, creature, or all attacking creature.
No, just the
Destroy
first one.
target artifact creature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it just blows up Phyrexian Dreadnought? Like,
Yeah.
is that the
Yeah.
point? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I think so. I mean, attacking creatures getting +1/+0 at the end of turn probably relevant too for goblins.
Oh my gosh, they got
Oh,
2
also threat
boils.
creature with power 2 or less can be blocked, so you just like make your lackey unblockable in turn 1.
That's actually kinda cool.
Yeah. It's what is it the expression you can use all parts of the buffalo or whatever?
Yeah, 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 using all parts of the buffalo.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
one.
all of them are applicable here, so yeah, so if you're
I
playing mono red, yes.
I gotta respect, obviously the sideboard has things like Red Elemental Blast, Pyroblast, Overload, the
Mhm.
things to expect, but the 2 boil, chef's kiss.
Boyle's a great like it's a really good card because it destroys lands, but it's also an instant, which I think is
Yeah.
crazy, like that they printed
So
like an instant speed spell that destroys lands.
hold on, hold on, hold on. So the other thing is about this sideboard, we got 2 copies of Goblin King,
Yes,
which is symmetrical. So that
correct.
is not for the mirror match, I assume.
Well, if you're 100% sure that you're gonna kill them, is it symmetrical?
That's fair. I guess if you're like deploying it on the turn that you're just gonna attack
Yeah.
and murder them, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
It
they
just
tap
it
out,
doesn't
you're
seem
like,
like it doesn't seem like a creature you deploy it past the turn with though. That
no, no,
one
no, no,
might be kind
definitely
of
not. No, no.
sketchy. Okay.
Uh,
Thank you for explaining this to me
yeah,
more. I
because I mean,
appreciate
think
it.
about it. If you have 2 pile drivers in play, right,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
2
yeah.
other goblins, just whatever goblin you want, right? 2 mag fanatics.
And you're like, the only thing that's stopping me is bodies. Then
Exactly. He's just like, all right, well, here's a Goblin King, and I probably win the game now. So
yeah, fair enough.
I
Fair
did
enough.
have someone play Elvish Champion against me when I was playing Elves, and it was like a
Yeah,
mirror.
this is
But
why I know this. This is like I was like, is this the same thing as Elvis Champion?
yeah, yeah. Again, we're talking about pre-modern when Magic used to be symmetrical for most part, so which was cool.
Research Titania, baby.
There you go. Of all the symmetrical cards, I was not gonna mention that one, but I'm glad you're here, Karin.
Thanks.
uh But yeah, so goblins, yeah, everything else is pretty stock, right? They got like 3 cops of overload. I guess it's really, really want to destroy some Phyrexian dreadnoughts.
Yeah,
There's 2 cops of Phyrexian furnace and then 6 blast
6
effects, right?
blasts. Yeah,
Yeah. I was trying to remember tsunami. I think tsunami because I said that was instant, but I think tsunami was also a
Tsunami's a
sorcery.
sorcery.
Yeah, so there's no instant speed and destruction cards, right?
Just
Except
boil.
just Boyle, I guess. Boyle's broken. Jesus
Boil's
Christ.
busted.
Get out of here, islands. Uh, Then we had replenish on in the top 8. Boo. No, not hitting on replenish. I'm just hitting on tide right now. Yeah.
So are we
Boil
skipping
those
it? Are
tides.
we gonna talk about the list at all, or do we hate it?
I mean, no, I don't hate anything, but it's just like it's
I
kind of
don't
like
hate
what
anything.
am I gonna say? Like there's 2 intuitions, yay for
Yeah,
replenish.
but they only have 3 frantic search. Is that right? Isn't it supposed to be 4? I don't know. I don't
I
know
don't know
anything about
actually.
replenish.
The one thing I'm
Actually,
more surprised is the 2 chain of vapors. I think they usually play 0. Uh,
isn't
I,
Shane like super good though? I thought I've
you,
seen Shane out of this deck
I mean,
before.
you can combo the tides, but I don't think generally speaking, I don't want to do that with his deck. I think mana leak is usually what takes place in that spot for instead of chain of vapors. So
All
but
right.
yeah,
Well, yeah. I
yeah.
guess
So
so.
the list we're looking at, I just realized that we don't have that on screen. It's funny because like this is the first project that I do like no podcast ish that it's a
We're not
visual.
sharing a screen over here. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're kind
but
of
I
like
mean, I'll put a
it's
link, of course, of the things we're talking about. But no, so this list is like a replenish list, and it's got 2 cops of chain of vapors in the main deck, and then 4 swords to plowshares. I think those are the cards that usually see some numbers change here and there. And if I'm not mistaken, the last few times I've played against replenish, they would have like some number of either counter spell or mana leak in the main deck. So, uh, and the cool thing about this list that I see is that they have 3 copies of Exalted Angel in the sideboard, which is I think is kind of stock, like no, for them to have the sideboard juke, right? But they also have a copy of Ivory Mask, which, by the way, for
yeah,
I was kind of upset when I found out the Leyline Entity was a thing because I was like, Ivory Mask finally got power crapped out of the format. For
yeah,
not of this format, of course. This one's the only option you have, but Ivory Mask, pretty sweet. Also, you've seen that one too, right? Another Bob
yeah.
Maher moment. when he was playing against Necro, and he only had one Ivory Mask in his deck, and I forgot the other player's name, but the only way he could kill Bob Maher was like drain life,
Wow,
and he
yeah,
got
yeah,
locked out
yeah.
under his own Necropotence because he couldn't gain life and he had no Nevis Disc in play. Uh, so pretty cool. Ivory Mask is a very iconic card. Let me see. So rounding up the top 8 here, we got 2 more decks. One is another Tinker Fling. This one is actually kind of similar to the one. Oh,
Different. This
Lindell's
one is
Vault.
yes, this is a Grixis build, it would
Yeah,
seem. Kinda interesting.
I actually like the Lindell's Vault a lot.
What do you think about Felwar Stone?
Felwar Stone is fine. I
Do you think
have
it's
played that
better
card.
than Mind Stone?
Probably not, but
Okay.
I don't hate. Uh Primator is still a very not very, but it's it's got a big percentage of the format is blue.
Yeah.
So I think this Felstone is always gonna make blue mana, and the deck is playing blue, so it's fine. And then the other color that's very popular is red. So you can also still cast your flings and stuff with this with Fell Stone. And then worst case scenario, just make mana, which is the same thing that Mind Stone would do, right?
Right.
Uh, but I really like the idea of playing Lindell's Vault because we joke that Lindell's Vault is sort of like a demonic tutor. Not demonic tutor, I'm sorry. Vampiric tutor.
Yeah, kinda, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like
Because I
4
mean,
top
if you
5.
pay 2 life, like you should be able to find whatever you're trying to find, right? Um,
What, like, what is that, 10 cards or 15?
it's 10, right? Well, so the first one you
Is
look at
free.
5, right? Yeah,
First one's free. First
yeah,
hit's free.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah,
pay
yeah, and
1,
then pay 1, look at
look at
5
5
more,
more,
pay 2. Yeah,
look at
so you look
15.
at 15 cards for 2 life.
Yes, so it's a Vampiric tutor for 2 mana.
Yeah. Okay. I could buy that.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot. Instead of playing punk ass Impulse, that only looks at 4 cards. Like, the hell is this? You can't even stack your deck.
Impulse, get out of here.
Exactly. Uh, I might actually give this a try after. Man,
Well,
my
look at
channel is just
that.
gonna be Devour combo with Romario. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be which Devourer combo is best with Romario.
there you go. Uh, Interesting, very interesting here. They're only playing 2 cops of Devour, Phyrexian Devour. That
Yeah, it's a little light. And then also I thought it was interesting that they were running only 2 Lotus Petal and still the 4 Mox Diamond with 20 lands.
mhm,
Again, Mox Diamond obviously being more tinkerable, but like wait, yeah, 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 more
mhm,
tinkerable, but yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
3 Winter Orb is a lot for
The
20
3
mana.
Winter Orbs. Uh, I I think if I was gonna play this deck, I'll probably cut the Winter Orbs and add 2 Phyrexian Devours, and the other card would be just something else, like
A Lotus
uh,
Petal maybe?
either Lotus Battle or I don't know, something else, something that makes mana, maybe like a I don't know, I don't like so much the Sky Diamond, but maybe this list needs that, so you can have another mana source and something you can tinker away. Um, I'll Yeah, but the Winter I'm not a fan of the Winter Orbs there. Even though they're playing Tangle Wire, I just don't think Winter Orb is for this deck. Because you're constantly tapping your lands and untapping them, so, like, it might hurt you more than your opponent. Um, and in the sideboard, they have Cedar Solitude, which is yeah, it's really cool. I like Cedar Solitude. It's kind of like another defense grid. They have Disenchant, which I mean, it's fine, I guess. They have Engineer Plague, Gaia's Blessing. That's probably for the mirror. Oops, that's probably for the mirror, and so you don't lose to the Alter Dementia. And they have Naturalize, so they basically had a split here: Disenchant and Naturalize. Pyroclasm, Tormod's Crypt, and Dragon Cold Domain. Interesting list. Again, I don't hate it. I just think that Winter Orb Zone seem like kind of feel a little out of place here. Um,
Yeah, probably make a few changes and rock it, try
yeah,
out Duel's Vault and that shell at
I
some
I
point.
definitely like the Lindos Vault idea. That definitely, I completely forgot about that card could be in this deck too. Okay, and the last deck in the top 8 that you and I were looking at it before we started here. It's a blue red control deck. So just blue red control.
Yeah, It's not something that I've really seen in the format yet, and it's kinda cool looking. I mean, the only creatures in the deck are 2 Grim Lavamancer,
Yeah.
and yeah, it plays 23 lands. It does look like it includes 4 Fairy Conclave and 3 Mishra's Factory among those lands, as well as a Singleton Key2 encampment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so lot of mainland opportunity here.
Yeah.
Um, Kinda
So
cool.
yeah, those numbers for the lands are interesting, right? Because like usually see Mishra's Factory fours,
Yeah,
but I can
3.
see because this deck is probably very colored mana hungry. Because you got counter spell, and I think Prophetic Bolt is also like red and blue. Um, what we call um, Dominate's also like a card that's double blue too. Um, so having too many colorless source of mana is probably not the best.
Yeah, 4
Um,
copies of Fire Ice, obviously very color intensive.
mhm, correct. So it kind of makes sense for you to have maybe Mistress Factory maybe it shouldn't even be in this deck. Maybe it should just be something else. But they do have the 4 Fairy Conclaves, which I'm guessing that was probably how they won most of their matches.
Yeah, I have to assume the fairy was just swinging over things, while they
Hmm.
were controlling the board.
Yeah, evasion is very good in this format. So Fairy Conclave gets you that. They get to encampment. I mean, first strike is okay, but like even blocking Mishra's Factory is really hard when they have 2 Mishra's Factory in play. Like so it's
Right.
so maybe it's just like another man land that's also like makes red mana. So it's I guess kind of like that. They're also playing just one fetch land, just one polluted delta. That's a that's a choice. Uh, and then as far as the instants and sorceries, just like think of really good red and blue cards in this format. So you got 4 AKs, 4 counter spells. Dominates are another card that just deals
Yeah,
mostly
2
probably
copies of Dominate, I think
yeah.
is interesting.
I think it's mostly probably to steal dreadnoughts, but
Elephants too, as we
elephant
mentioned,
tokens,
right?
yeah, unfortunately. Uh
1 copy of Earthquake. What do we think about that? You
well,
like that as a board wipe?
I mean, goblins and elves are decks that people play.
That's
So
fair.
yeah.
Obviously worked out here, so
Yeah. Exclude. I actually don't know what that card does.
yeah, 2 copies of Exclude, counter target creature spell, draw a card for 2 into blue.
So 3 mana for to counter
Counter
creature
draw.
spell. I'm not really sure about that one, but I guess you're not signing up with blue red control to play fast games, right? So I guess
I think it's probably worth a couple of copies, and I mean, it doesn't look like they have any more in the sideboard to round them out, but it
no.
does, I imagine that it's also, like, an easy card to reach for when you're sideboarding, like,
Hmm.
sometimes, depending on the matchup, so
Right. Yeah, you get paired against replenish. Well, that's the first thing that's coming out. And then your opponent slams a exalted angel and you're like, ah.
Oh.
2 cups of Factor Fiction, and then 4 ice, fire and ice, 2 incinerates, 4 lightning bolts. So they max out like on the like red removal spell. Get
Mhm.
like fire and ice incinerates. I mean, the 2 incinerates, but no lightning bolts. 2 mana leaks, 3 prohibits, and 3 prophetic bolt, and 2 repulse. Repulse is also a sweet one too, right? It's like a 2 in a blue
Return a
return target
card,
creature.
unsummon, draw a card. Yeah,
Yeah,
look at these 3 mana, like,
temple
interact with
cards.
creatures and draw cards, yeah.
I mean, they all draw cards, so they all replace it themselves. So it's not. I mean, I mean that's what a control deck wants to do, right? Like you want to do answer something and also not be behind on cards, right?
Right, right, yeah.
Um, one thing that I liked about this one too, I remember when Mana Leak was released back in Stronghold in Standard, Counter Spell was also legal in Standard, and not only me, my friends, but like every deck list that we would see on Inquest or on a magazine, whatever like that. That was always a configuration. It was always 4 counter spells and 2 mana leaks. So I like that this person has the same old school configuration, I guess. Um, they have a Teferi's response to sideboard, which I really like too. Fresh Furnace, Overload, Hydroblast. Yeah, so basically like a pile of like blast effects and annul and ways to deal with like artifacts and stuff. So, um,
Yeah.
and graveyard. So that was the Swedish Nationals top 8. Like I thought it's kind of cool to see how so the two cops are well, they're Tinker in the top 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Looks like a fun event. So
Yeah. I watched a little bit of the stream when they had it. So Curran, so things there we're planning on playing.
yeah, we talked a little bit about your Eternal Weekend coming up, which is pretty exciting that you're getting into that. And yeah, for me, it's the weekend after Eternal Weekend. It'll be October 19th. It'll also be the day that we record episode 3. You know, if
Mhm.
if if that sticks. But October 19th is my monthly. It's everybody's getting a promo stamped Guy's Blessing. Pretty excited about that.
Oh, everyone in the event?
Everyone in the event getting a
Hells yeah.
promo stamped Guy's Blessing. First place, getting an Arena Foil Enlightened Tutor, a signed Portland Pre-Modern Wall of Blossoms, a Rock Box, which is a deck box built by a community member named Rock. He 3D prints these deck boxes, and they're super cool.
Is it like the one you have?
Yeah, it's like the twisty one.
Mhm.
I did not keep an example near my desk, unfortunately, but that's okay. And then also a Rose City pre-modern patch and an altar, which I think is just like an altered card of some sort. I'm not 100% sure. Second place is getting an altered borderless WCD City of Traders, which I can only assume is World Championship deck,
Mhm.
and Rose City pre-modern patch and altar. Third and fourth is getting a WCD Ancient Tomb and Rose City pre-modern patch and altar, and then fifth through eighth are getting Tempest Lotus Petals.
One of these?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, see, you got this. And then highest finished unpowered deck is also getting a rock box and a secret prize.
Unpowered? What do you mean by unpowered?
So pre-modern power includes Oath of Druids, Survival of the Fittest, Phyrexian Dreadnought, Goblin
Mhm.
Lackey, Mox Diamond, Replenish, Gush, and Parallax Tide. Fire Blast used to be on this list. It is now
Okay.
not.
And what's the price? I'm sorry, excuse me. What's the price for this one?
So the highest finish unpowered deck will get a rock box as well,
Oh,
a
okay.
deck box, and a secret prize. We
Oh,
don't know what it is yet.
okay.
And then, as usual, a significant portions of the proceeds will go to the charity of the winner's choice, or will default to our usual, which is Blanchett House. And yeah, it's in Portland, Oregon, at Lucky Lab in Southeast on Hawthorne. If there are any listeners out there who live in the area and want to come compete October 19th at noon, that is where we'll be. So,
Sweet. The elves deck that I used to win that one playoff had 0 survival of the fittest.
well, snap, you would have qualified, buddy. You would have qualified for
There
Empowered.
you go. See?
Yeah.
It had bootleg Crater Hoof in Kamal,
Come on.
and it had bootleg, I don't even know what you call it. Not Games of Nature, but I was running Concord Crossroads to give
Oh,
them to give all my elves haste, and then
I don't think there is like a version of that is the original card for that though, right? There's only
yeah,
one green mana, like one mana green enchantment that gives creatures haste. That's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah,
You just gotta remember, it's also symmetrical.
it's
S-
also
be-
symmetrical.
Yes. Don't make the mistake
We're
to play
playing
against.
fair here.
That's true. Don't make the mistake to cast that against Dreadnought before you're sure that you're gonna win. Otherwise, you're gonna see a 12/12 attacking in the same turns.
Be careful.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. I'm kind of excited to see how the
Yeah,
experience is gonna go, and
yeah.
then I
We'll be
know
talking
heavy
about
play.
it right afterwards. So.
Yeah, and we're gonna know heavy. Andrew is gonna post it on his channel. So
Yeah, we're
uh,
still waiting for the I think the August matches are going up right now. Is it August or September?
mhm.
I can't remember. We're in the middle of posting those matches, but I am in the quarterfinals of that tournament, and I will be up against Sly. So definitely tune in to check that out.
Okay, sweet. Well, for me, I checked the schedule for pre-modern events at Return Weekend, so that's coming up for me. My plan right now is to play the team event on Friday. The person is riding with me, my friend Rory. He's going to play Legacy. I'll be on the pre-modern seat. Do we do? I mean, sorry, we do have to find an old school player because that's a team event. It's old school, Legacy, pre-modern.
Such an interesting trios like
It used to
formatting.
be vintage, I think, before. I think it used to be Legacy, pre-modern, vintage.
And so, yeah, they're just hoping that old school players are more like out in that weekend than
Well,
vintage.
since they're doing it on Friday, it makes sense to be old school because vintage's main event's happening on Friday. So it'll be harder for you to find somebody that's playing vintage that's not in the main event.
That's
Uh,
fair. Okay,
and
that
I
makes sense.
right, and I think let me just double check real quick. I believe that they said that you could use C cards in old school. I think they don't have here on the description here for sure, uh, but I'm pretty sure it's legal. Because I think they said that the gold border cards and stuff they're legal in pre-modern. That was something that apparently they had this discussion before. Those are not sanctioned formats by Wizards, so I think that's the loophole that
Yeah.
they got there, right? Even though Eternal Weekend as an event is a WotC event. So yeah, player A will be the pre-modern event player. The player B, which is if you ever play a team event, will be the player in the middle. Is the legacy seat, and then on the other side will be the old school player. So yeah, I kind of posted that signal on the Legacy Small Talk podcast. I was like, if anybody's playing old school, plays old school, is gonna be there at the event site and would like to play in our team, I'll be very happy. Cause that's my number one choice is to play the team event, right? So I get to play pre-modern, and any team that goes 5-0, you get three those oversized copies of cards.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
so one is the 23 by 32. So those are the oversized, like no, the ones that kind of like the size of a picture. Uh, and you get a source of plowshares. Uh, they have this thing that says SPG number 54. And that,
SPG.
so I looked it up and hold on a sec. Let me see if I can actually, you know what? I might actually like, source to plowshares. And it didn't make sense to me, SPG number 54, because the art is not the one that like makes sense to me. Currently, I guess I'll ship it to you too, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's this one here. So it's like it's the one on the mouse. Actually, if I
Oh, okay.
if I put it here, okay, I guess um it's this one. So I don't know if it makes sense if they're doing this one. I would think that the oversized card would be one from that era of Magic. Then there's another one is a Sylvan Tutor that is the portal version of a Wordly Tutor, and then there's an Ancient Tomb. And I understand what they're trying to do. I guess they're trying to get like a old school card, like a legacy card and a pre-modern card. Uh, and then if you go 4-1, you get 4,500 funny money tickets. If you go 3-2, you get 1,500 funny
Funny
money
money.
ticket. Yeah, yeah. To split between your teammates. If that falls through and I can't find a team, on Friday at 12 o'clock, there is uh, a pre-modern sponsored event by the Mighty Meeple. They had
Okay.
those last year. I played in the Legacy one, I think. I don't think I played in the pre-modern one because it was a little bit of a conflict with something else I was trying to play. But basically, it's an event that's $25. And so they have different stores that are going to be on site sponsoring those events. So they're going to have one for old school, one for pre-modern, one for legacy, one for vintage. I'm sure they're going to have one for modern and I don't know, maybe the other formats. But this one you pay $25. And if you go 3-0, you get a certificate that's for $200 that you can use at the Mighty Meeple. But it's single
Cool.
elimination. So it's $25. It's kind of like, yeah. Uh, that's why it's my second option. Like I think I'll have more fun playing at team events and play 5 rounds with my friend and maybe a new
Yeah.
friend. If I play old school,
Hopefully a new friend.
yeah, hopefully a
That's
new
what
friend.
we'll strive for.
Yeah. And So that's the one. And there's a Primata double up too. I'm not a big fan of those events that just for tickets, but if it all comes down to that, maybe I'll just play one of those. Yeah, Saturday I'm not gonna be playing the Primata because I will be playing the Legacy main event.
Are you
Hopefully,
oh,
go on, go on.
I
I
was
know
gonna
you're gonna say
ask, are you willing to tell us what you're gonna be registering for Eternal Weekend Legacy?
probably Forge.
Probably Forge. Okay.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
playing a
it's a
lot of
strong
like
deck.
yeah, I've been playing a lot of blue red Quarry Steel Cutter, and it's a blast to play the deck. But I'm not good enough for the deck, to be honest. I just need to be honest with myself. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna Casting Daisies and Force of Wills. Maybe it's not for me. Uh, yeah, and then I think Sunday. So the Sunday there's a Pre-Modern Showdown, which is the I'll say the bigger Pre-Modern event that they have. And I'll correct myself. I said 11 o'clock. It actually starts at 10 a.m. On Sunday. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can convince my buddy to stay there. Maybe I'll play it. I really like to play it. It's a $50 event, and first place is a guy's Cradle. Second place, a Mox Diamond. Third and fourth place, Survival of the Fittest. Fifth and eighth place is Intuition. It says right here, additional prize for 64 players. I'm sorry, that's at a minimum, right? So with 64 players, um, they just add more tickets to the pricing. So there's no, it doesn't go out of top eight. It doesn't extend outside of top eight. So, um, but that's the big Primata event on the weekend, right? To play the Sunday event, the Primata Showdown. That would be my goal to play as far as Sunday, unless I'm playing the top
Excellent.
eight of Legacy, which then definitely would take. It would be
Precedent. Yeah.
yeah, but
Well, so the other thing though is that the Legacy event is 2 days.
correct.
And it's yeah, if you're extra or better, you're playing day two, which isn't that on
Overlaps with that too, yeah.
yeah.
I because
So
I
it's not
think
even if you top eight, it's just if you do like
mildly well.
pretty well, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because Sunday, let me see, Sunday, I think because it starts at 9, I think it doesn't say here. Yeah,
The
it doesn't
day
really
two.
say. Yeah, it doesn't say the day 2 starts. But I believe it's like 9 o'clock, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah.
it is kinda yeah, I was a little upset at first, but I was like, "Yeah, but how else are you gonna schedule all this stuff, right?" It's only because you only have, like, Thursday to Sunday, right? So and
Right.
Thursday is really kinda like just a day for side events and stuff like that. Like, no, Friday is really when Eternal Weekend starts, because that's when you have the Vintage main event starting. Um, so, um, yeah, so I'm stoked to play some Pre-Modern,
Yeah.
most likely Thursday and Friday. One way or another, I'm gonna play some Pre-Modern on Friday. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, the team event. If not, I'll play the Mighty Meeple sponsored event. Maybe I'll get $200 in tickets and I mean in certificate and I can buy some more Primata cards from them probably.
Heck yeah. Well, I'll be rooting for you as well as struggling with FOMO, so it'll be a good time. It'll be a good weekend.
If you had to choose, and
Yeah.
I'll take your opinion to heart.
Okay.
I'm not just asking
Sure.
just for the
Sure, sure,
content,
sure.
but I will give you two options though.
Okay.
If I have blue red that Devour and green white Enchantress, which one would you take to an event that you want to win?
Probably Enchantress. But that is coming. I may be a bit biased because I do really enjoy green decks that draw a lot of cards. And I also, but I also think that Enchantress is just generally good. Like it is proven time and time again to do well at events. And
Hmm.
like I, I know that Devourer is doing well too, but like Enchantress to me is just like a lot more solidified and a lot more I think, explored these Devourer decks. You're trying out these different builds and variations and things like that. It
Hmm.
doesn't feel quite ironed out yet. It doesn't feel like I don't know. It feels like you could spend more time on that. With Enchantress, you're just like, this is solid. I know it's going to be solid, and I'm running in with it. So
You're like
anyway,
that's a good 75. I'm just gonna go with
that's
that.
that's a solid 75 right there.
Okay, all
So,
right. I think I agree.
with like, of course, like asterisks make card choices based on what is comfortable. But I think
Hmm.
that, yeah, though, even with those flex slots, yeah, the 75 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I also believe I think the top 16 of the last like playoff thing. I
Hmm.
think the deck that won was an Enchantress deck too, so I might take a look at that
That was
list and
surprising.
maybe go with something similar to that. Cool, cool. All right,
Cool.
Curran. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we end
Before we
today's
take
episode?
off,
Yeah,
no, I think I've said my piece. I wish I had a little bit more to contribute to today's episode. I just haven't been playing a ton of pre-modern, but I will definitely be a lot more talkative on our next episode. Trust me, I'll be talking all about that event. So
your sweet elves experience.
yeah, my sweet elves experience. If I don't end up honestly, so here's the thing. I have these 4 absolutely beautiful foil treetop villages I want to register in a deck so bad because I won them and I
Uh
want
huh.
to use them. I want to utilize them. So small chance I might just like say fuck it and register the rock or something, but
Mm,
like probably else. I'm probably gonna coward out. I'm gonna be coward probably.
okay. I mean, I think you
Play
should
what
play
I
elves.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If anything, just make a little no small changes, but not a completely different archetype.
Yeah, but yeah, if you want to holler at me or anything like that, you can find me on most socials at Testacular. That's my YouTube, that's my Blue Sky, that's my Discord, Testacular. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's me. Romario, where can they find you if they
You
want to
can find
find
me
you?
as it's Romario Vidal pretty much everywhere except for Twitter. That's Romario Neto. I go there very little. I was there this last week because of extracurricular things that happen in Eternal Weekend. Y'all can go there and and find out. It's not too hard. Just search.
What extracurricular?
Is that what I want to say? Maybe I don't know. Look, type vintage card titan whatever on Twitter. You catch up.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
drama.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk about that in here. We don't need that kind of negativity here. Uh, but uh, but yeah, Romario Vidal on of course on YouTube and Twitch, Magic Online, Discord. If you want to talk about pre-modern legacy, you can hit me up. And again, just make sure I just not make sure. Just want to make sure that everyone understands. I do read all the comments, and I love hearing the feedback that we get from from the podcast and the videos and stuff that we post. So um, I definitely like to see that. So
We appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening and tuning in. And we'll catch you next time.
see ya.